Hi y'all, I'm back. And this time around I'm back with a story time. Yeah, I have gist for you. And this gist is very juicy. Trust me. Sometime like almost 3 years ago, I was ready to get back on my grind, especially with regards to music and my businesses. I was so ready. Like, in fact, I think at that time I had done my vocal workshop with Tommy Stone. I had an edition in Lagos, I had one in Ilorin, and I was already preparing to have another one in Abuja, in Oshobo and Port Harcourt. Like, it was literally in the works. Guess what happened? Out of the blues, your sister fell pregnant. Yes. Like, before I even took the test, in my head I was already scared that is something wrong with me because I didn't see it coming. Plans had been put in place to not see it coming. But then again, miraculously, it happened. I was thrown aback. I was discombobulated. I was shocked. It was unexpected. And trust me, I cried some very, very interesting tears at that time. And then I called my husband. I told him about it. He was in shock. We were all scattered. That's just the truth. But then again, because we know that this God that we serve, he specializes in giving you what you need as opposed to what you want sometimes. So that was our case. And then we braced it, sat down and had a table talk that we still need to keep going on and moving on with this whole career thing, business and everything. We just have to do what we have to do. So we decided that we will go ahead and produce a song, which is Promises. Now, it was after, I think it was around my second trimester before we got our act together. That's just the truth. It took a while, to be honest. And these things sometimes they will take time. But then God still came through. We decided that we were going to go and do the song. So I was about 7 months gone at that time. We got in the car. We were headed to the studio to start to produce the song. And that particular day, I was supposed to, lay the BGBs. Guess what happened? We were driving down to the studio, and out of nowhere, a new tire, oh, it literally exploded. That's the best way I can explain it. We just heard a loud bang, and by the time we went out, we were about to get on a bridge when that incident occurred. We were sort of like confused. What is happening here? By the time we were able to get an organizer who checked it could not be salvaged. And then my husband said, the devil must be really mad. We must record this song today, whether he likes it or not. We went ahead, got to the studio, thanks to Maxi, we recorded I think I recorded all the BGVs that day for the song, and then we scheduled a later date for the lead vocals. Guess what? That day was not funny at all. It was a day reading with plenty traffic. There was fuel scarcity. It was just a whole lot going on, but thankfully we were able to lay the BGVs. Now, one thing led to another, all the shebangs, so many things happened. I had to go back to the studio when I was about 8 months plus to record the BGVs all over again. In fact, that day I literally carried my big daddy like this to this studio. All the people there were wondering what's going on, but then I just had to do what I had to do because I already knew that upon delivery, I might not really have the time to do all of that. So whatever you're hearing today in Promises, that is a background vocal and that is a vamp or whatever it is, aside from maybe the rap. I did all of that when I was heavily pregnant. Yes. So literally, myself and Fountain have been singing this song since when it was in the womb, if you know what I mean. Well, I digress. In the process of having that pregnancy, progressing in the pregnancy, I literally told God a few things. Number one, I didn't ask for this. You gave it to me. So you have to hold my hands through this. Like, I had to just pour out my heart to God like that. You must help me through this. I can't do this on my own. First of all, when I had the girls, I had them by a cesarean section. And typically, when you do that, you might not necessarily be able to have a vaginal birth because you can't be induced. If anything goes wrong, you cannot be induced. So sometimes it is advised that you just go back and have another cesarean section. I had that fear. And I was like, Lord, I'm not getting back on that table. Nope, I'm not doing that again. Once is enough. So I needed him to help me, and I literally told him, "You have to help me through this. You have to hold my hands, and I am trusting you for a V back." As God will have it, a sister of mine called Ayinke, my amazing friend, she introduced me to a community called Birth Safe Community. It's a community for pregnant women, where they hold your hands all through the process, right from when you conceive up until you give birth and even afterwards. And I can literally say that God used Dr. Idara to, like, God really literally showed out and showed off through that amazing woman of God, because left to me, that community is a ministry. And she gave me all the necessary information I needed to enable me have a VBAC. Another testimony here is that by the time we got to the hospital, because I fell into labor based on engaging in all of those procedures, the processes, I fell into labor. By the time we got to the hospital, trust me, these people literally left me alone, because in their mind's eye, this labor is not going to progress as fast as. Guess what? I had that boy in about 4 hours.
Jesus is
They were not ready. They were not informed. And through all that process, when I look back now, I really thank God, because it turned out to be the best pregnancy experience I had. Yeah, it was unexpected, but it was fantastic at the end of the day. I thank God for that process, because I think it was just God trying to tell me that you can have it good, actually, even in pregnancy. And I had him. There was no cesarean section, to the glory of God. And this is not downplaying on anybody who has a delivery via cesarean section. Trust me, healthy baby, any kind of delivery is a Hebrew woman delivery as far as I'm concerned. So I just needed to put that out there. And that was it. So the beautiful part of this whole thing is that this young boy is 2 years old today. I mean, 2 years ago, God gave us a gift. And fountain came. And fountain is such a fountain. That's the best way I can say it. As unexpected as it was at that time, God literally blessed us with a gift. Sometimes you don't expect some things. You feel like, oh, I don't need this at this time. But then God just literally shows you that this is the icing on the cake. And if you missed this, you would have missed out. That's also true. So I'm just here right now to say thank you to God for being so amazing. See, this God we serve, He loves His children so much that sometimes when we literally throw tantrums, when we feel like we're getting what we don't deserve or what we don't need, He knows best, and He's sovereign, and His promises are yea and amen, and they would always be manifest. Maybe not in ways that we expect it, but then He always shows us that, yes, I'm your Father, and I know what's best for you. That was what happened with Fountain. And today, I can say that this boy is such a fountain of joy. It's a fountain of love. I mean, he loves to see me and my husband hug. Like, if he sees anybody hugging like this, he starts to smile. He's such a fountain of amazing things, of greatness, So we are grateful to God. I am grateful to God. And I can literally say that Fountain and I have been singing promises right from when he was in the womb. So whatever you heard in that song that was not the rap, I think it's just the rap that I did when I had him, because that's the most recent part of the song that was composed recently. So this is me just saying I'm grateful, I'm blessed, and God is awesome. God is awesome. Fountain is 2 years old today, and we are more than grateful. So thank you for listening to my gist, and I love you guys.